Man, that last part just fires me up. Love that song. Welcome to another Sales After Dark, because money never sleeps. So if you're watching this on a replay, fast forward about 3 to 5 minutes. I'm going to say hi to my peeps, my family here. So let me just get a new board going here so I can bring the comments on. Let's see who's on. Man, there he is again. Inkle is just always on the case, man. Greetings from Pasig, Philippines, man. Inkle, always glad to have you. Brian Gator, Mr. Las Vegas himself, man. Shrutesh Godamba. Do I got that like Godambe? It's got to be one of those. Shrutesh, man, thank you for getting up early, man. I know you get up early just for this, man. Dubai is in the house. Love Dubai. The Burj Khalifa. I shisha over at the hotels. I remember one night in Dubai, just shishaing, looking at the city of Dubai. Yeah, it's a beautiful city, man. Beautiful city. Beautiful people, by the way. Khalid, from my man from, there he is. Everyone, great night. Love it. Mia Knox, West Coast. Mia Knox, always glad to have you, Mia. Duncan, Joy. Joy is in the house. Woohoo. I got joy down in my heart. Shrutesh, if you are running out of topics, please make a video on making a team, hiring / managing, etc. Just a small request. I like that, actually. So managing a team. I actually like that one, because I don't think I've really touched that one. And hiring. Shrutesh, that might be a winner, Shrutesh. Not guaranteeing you, but I like that already, so that's a good one. I don't think I've talked about that a lot, and I think that would be interesting. I've gone through the process of building teams and hiring people, and it's like, there's a lot of moving pieces. Anyway, Jimmy, what's happening? Good evening, Victor. New York in the house. Big city of dreams. Chris Herrick, great topic. Who would you like to sell to? Favorite person or company? Great topic. Who would you like to sell to? Anybody that has money. Favorite person or company? Anybody that has money is my favorite person. What else can I tell you, Jimmy? That's how I roll, man. We got my man, Cesar Castro V. Santiago, Chile, man. I met Cesar a couple of years ago. 2 years ago, maybe, Cesar? 3? Time flies. But anyway, Mr. Storytelling. He's doing great things, man. I mean, his growth in the speaking business and consulting business has been incredible, man. Very proud of you, brother. Very proud of you, man. And he just told me via WhatsApp that I actually got on LinkedIn. So if I'm on LinkedIn, all right, finally. It only took 4 or 5 submissions. I lost count. Kohai. Chihuahua. Love that, man. One day, man. Kohai, one day I'll be in Japan, man. Maybe not 2021, maybe 2022. How's that? This is it. Kamal Nagy. All right. We also have Dustin Chan. Victor, you're the best. Period. End of story. I'm done. I'm done, Dustin. I'm done. I'm just leaving. I like you, Dustin. All right, man. Thank you. Brian Gator. Sounds like you're in a tin can. Does it sound tinny? Does it sound tinny to you guys? Because I shouldn't be in a tin can. I should be like really sounding very good. Orkin family. Jonathan Richards. Orkin Luck. Orkin, a.k.a. Rollins. How do I sound to you guys? Do I sound good or do I sound weird? Let me know. Now you made me self-conscious here, man. Victor, how you doing? Alberto Ramos. Hermano, I am doing really good. LinkedIn user, greetings. Wait a minute. I finally made it on LinkedIn. Yeah, man. Get the DJ hook. One more time. Only because I had to submit several times to that thing. So anyway, super excited. So anyway, Caesar says he's watching me on LinkedIn, man. Cesar, you are my first official watcher on LinkedIn, man. Sean Conrad from the ATL. I'm over here in Alpharetta, not too far from you. Cesar, you made my evening, man. You made my evening. Great to be here. Chris Adams, glad to have you here. Hello from India, Tarun. Always glad to have you, man. I know you're up early, man, so thank you. Fusion Marketing with an H. Hello, Victor. Good show today with the Deej. Deej is a good guy. Man, that guy has a lot of energy, man. So he'll be posting that video. So it was a great conversation with me. Luther Vasquez. Hey, Vic from Lubbock, Texas, man. Love Texas. I just love Texas. Morning, Kamal. I got you again, man. Indiana Hoosiers in the house. Jennifer Collins Schnitker. All right, we got Edwina. I'm going to screw up that last name, but I'm going for it. Jasarevic, right? I love your work. Thank you, Edwina. I appreciate you. Duncan, boom. Again, if you're watching this on a replay, fast forward a few minutes as I say hi to my family. I sometimes get asked by startups about sales training. Is your sales academy good to recommend to startups just trying to learn how to sell? Just asking before I recommend it. Absolutely. It is a perfect fit. So whether it's, whether it's an entrepreneur, small, medium-sized business, or even enterprise businesses, it fits. But if you say, where does it really fit? Small, medium-sized business is, I think, the perfect fit for this program. So yeah, have them check it out. Manuel Calderon, saludo desde Houston, Texas. Glad to be here. Bienvenido, hermano. Glad to have you here. Naveen Malik, attending the first time. Happy to be on the show, Naveen. Great to have first-timers, man. Kim Stevens, Hawkins from Mission, Texas, man. Chris Adam, you are the man. Right back at you, brother. Right back at you. Dennis, hello from the Big Easy. Love it, man. Houston's in the house. I love it again. Let me see. Jada Beats from Australia. Hi, Mike. Glad to have you here. Chicago, hometown, in the house. Northwest side, Chicago, and North Avenue in Ashland, Wabansia, Humboldt Park. If you know the area, let me know. Anyway, shoot test, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Gregory Smith, man. I haven't talked to you a long time, my brother. Long time, man. I miss you also, man. Pete's in the house. We can now get started. Once Pete is in the house, that's it. We'll get started, right? All right, let me see. We got Terry, Michigan. Let me see. Terry goes, Michigan Latina in the house. Saludos, bienvenida. Brian just says, weird. I don't know, man. Kohai, if you come to Japan, I will be your tour guide. Bam. Hey, by the way, I love that film. I think I told you I love that. There's a Japanese series about a little restaurant where they cook food and people come in, The Midnight Diner. Tell me if you've heard of it. It's a great series on Netflix. Anyway, Debbie, Jolly, the stammering communicator. Boom, good. Probably not stammering anymore, I bet. I bet you're not. Actually, I think I agree. The sound is a tad off today. What is going on? Sounds great. Okay, I got sounds great on that side. Jonathan. All right, so we're going to go back and forth. Got San Diego in the house. If I missed you, I'm sorry, but you guys are scrolling here a lot. Juka! I like seeing you here, man. Debbie says Trinidad, Tobago. I've been there. Love it. LinkedIn says sounds good. Good to see you, Pete. Singapore, Reza Wolf. I haven't seen you in a while, Reza. Hello from Maysville, Kentucky. I love Kentucky, man. Bluegrass, baby. Wells alumni, Sinatra strong, man. So I graduated from a high school in Wells, which is off Augusta and Ashland in the inner city. Sinatra is always saying, Victor, you got to come back. You got to come back and motivate the youth at Wells High School. And I just keep not doing it. And eventually, Sinatra, don't give up on me. Our schedules will eventually coincide, man. But thank you, man. I appreciate what you're doing for them. Thank you. So sales velocity. Okay, cool. Anyway, so I want to get into this. You're the best, Cleveland. Thank you very much. Brian says, sound is weird, very tinny still, huh? Last one, Iliana Santoyo, saludos desde Mexico. I'm a huge fan. Thank you for being a fan. And the Deej is in the house. So I did the Deej show today. The dude, just look him up, man. The sales energizer, man. That dude's off the chart when it comes to energy. I thought I had a lot going on until I met that guy. I feel weak. Something ain't hard. Well, you know how. All right, I'm going to jump in, man. You guys are killing me with the comments here, man. I appreciate you. I'll come back to some of those. So next level thinking, that's what this one's about, right? And like I said, I'll come back and grab some of your comments, but I want to get into the content. So, by the way, if you're just joining me, if you've never seen this before, what I do is I say hi to you first, what's up? And then I'm going to do about maybe 15, 20 minutes of content, and then you guys can blast me with questions, and then we wrap up and we get out of here. So I try to kind of cut to the chase, not a lot of fluff, not a lot of hype, just So, here's the story. So I got a friend, his name is Sam Silverstein. He doesn't even know I'm talking about him, but I'm talking about him. So Sam Silverstein, he sees my board, the Vibe board, right? That I'm using, my beautiful, love my board, that board, right? He sees me using this board. So Sam contacts me and says, hey man, what are you using? I said, I'm using a Vibe board. By the way, the information is in the description if you want to look up the information for a Vibe board, right? And he says, really? He says, how do you like it? We go back and forth. I'm giving you the short version. And next thing you know, he says to me, I'm going to get it. And he buys the board. So he lets me know like a week or two later he got the board. He said, Victor, I'm spending the weekend with the board, right? So he's using the board. Now, I've been using it for about at least 2 months now, maybe 3. Can't keep track. 2, 3 months, whatever it is. This is live stream number 58, so whatever that is. And so then he starts using it, and he posts a video. And he does something I'd never seen before. I go, how did you do that? he says, and he explained what he did. He said, I got this box, I got this board. It's a black magic board, and I started doing that. And I said, huh. I said, I want to be able to do what you just did. And what he did was this. I'll just show you what he did, because I actually went out and bought the board. So this is what he was able to do. He was able to go full screen like that. And like, you know, I couldn't do this before, right? So I can do this. I love my audience, right? And you can do that. But also what's cool is that you can do this. You can go, hey, what's up? See? And I saw him do this. And I was like, how did you do that? And so he used this board. Now, so obviously I now have the board. I can do it. But that got me to thinking about next level thinking, because we all know that, you know, when you hang around people who like, you know, are just a little smarter than you or look at things differently, they force you to kind of go to the next level. So that's kind of what he did to me. You know, he made me, when I saw him use the tool, I'd been using this, but then he started using it differently. I go, how'd you do that? Right? And that began the sequence. And it's this sequence of next level thinking, because I began to think about, so what is it? Because I'm being asked a question all the time. I said, Victor, you know, you do a lot of live streams, you do a lot of videos. If you go on YouTube, I have like, I think over 1,200 videos. And that's aside from my Sales Velocity Academy. This one right here, right there, right? And so that one has over 500. And these are actual courses. The other ones are just videos. And so I create a lot of content. And so I'm always asked, you know, so how do you come up with content? How do you do it? How do you come up with so much content? And I started thinking about my own thought process. You ever reflect on your own thought process? And so I took this process that I just went through with Sam, and I kind of analyzed, I kind of did a, what do you call that? A meta of my own thinking, right? In other words, I started looking at my own thinking. Bear with me. I know it's confusing right now, but let me just walk through it. I just told you the story. Now, what I did is I outlined my own thinking, and then it hit me. This is next level thinking, and I call it the next level thinking loop. And people who always rise above, keep moving up, are always caught in this next level thought loop. And I want to explain this next level thought loop. Yes, I came up with that. I didn't have a better name for it. So let me explain it, and then we'll talk about it, right? So the next level thought loop. First of all, what I saw was Sam used the board in a way I had not used it. So the first step was, let me just get a smaller marker here. The first thing is I observed what he was doing. And the first question I had to ask is, how do you do that, right? That's the first way. So sometimes we observe something, and that's like a trigger. It kind of triggers our creativity, like, how'd they do that, right? And then you begin the investigation. Another thing you can do is, sometimes you learn, right? By learn is that, you know, somebody showed you something and says, let me walk you through something, and they teach you something. And they go, how do you do that? You ever ask people, how do you do that? You see it and you go, how do you do that? Third step is, some of us just research. You ever just think about something? You ever just think about something and go, I wonder if I could this, right? So I realized that we're typically in these three modes. Next level thinkers are always doing one of these three things. They're observing what other people are doing. They're learning. They're reading a book, listening to a podcast, watching a live stream, or they're doing some research. The research is prompted by, I wonder if I could. So next level thinkers begin here, right? And so what triggered me was this right here. I observed, I said, what is he doing, right? And when I saw what he was doing, I go, that prompted the research piece, right? So what is he doing? And then I realized that as I did the research piece, then the next step is I had to make a decision, right? And I'll call this the buy decision. That's the buy decision, right? And so I had to decide, do I want to buy? Yes, or the big no. And if I don't, I'll just stop right here, right? All right, so let me just shrink this a little bit. Isn't that cool that you can shrink it? By the way, if you want a close-up of that, bam, I'll do that so you can see a close-up of it, right? Let me just zoom in so you can see it. There's your close-up. One more time. Right there. So this is where I was at. Then I got to make a buy decision, right? So I decided, by the way, this is the unit. I should just show you the thing. So that's what I bought right there. It's an 810 mini. That allows me to do cool stuff like that. And then come back and do stuff like that, right? So by the way, this provides a lot of interactivity when you're doing presentations. And you can use this through Zoom, by the way, right? So this is the actual product. So after I researched, I decided to buy. It's like $500 something, right? It's an investment. So then I bought it. and just bear with me, I'm going somewhere with this. Bought it, I unboxed it, right? So I unboxed it, and the next thing I start to do is I start to assess this thing. Like, how can I use it, right? Like, how can I use it? And I can't even explain the number of cables I have thrown over there on the floor. Now, in fact, I'm going to show it to you. What the hell? Look, I'm just going to show you that, because I'm not exaggerating. I literally had to go, like, to Best Buy and said, okay, that cable, that didn't work. That cable, 2 of those, that didn't work. And then I went through those cables, and there's one there, and there's another one there, that didn't work. You get the idea, cables everywhere, and I still got more back there, right? So I'm going through this, I'm trying to figure this out. How could I use it effectively, right? So I do this assess, and then I realize, well, I'm assessing it. Now, once everything's plugged in, I had to adjust it. Like, once I got everything plugged in correctly, I said, well, how do I use it? So that it would, engage you like that, right? How would I use it? And so all of a sudden, I started figuring this out. So then, after that, after I figured how I could use it, the last step is that I applied it, right? So I applied it, which means I'm using it. Very scary. If you were here for Technology Tuesday, remember I tried that application for the first time. We had a couple of hiccups, but we figured it out, right? And so this is the process, right? So I applied it. Now, at this point, would you agree with me that I am now at the next level, right? I'm at next level right here. And again, let me zoom in because I really want you to see this. Because this is a process. Now, this is the key part. What's going to happen, I know myself. I know how I work. And what's going to happen is I'm here at next level, which is right here. And you know what's going to happen? I'm going to come back all the way up here. I'm going to use it for a while, and sure enough, somebody's going to do something. Somebody's going to show me something, or I'm going to research something, and I'm going to start this loop all over again, right? And every time I loop, this is what I call the next level thought loop. This is what I think people who go to the next level do. This is what I think they mentally go through. They're not afraid. Now let's go to the other extreme. Here's where I think a lot of people get stuck, and maybe this is you. Right? And again, not pointing fingers, just highlighting something. A lot of people, they see something, they observe it, they go, I wonder how they do that. They may do some research, but they decide not to buy. So they go into the no state right here, right? Now, I'm not saying you have to buy everything, but they go into the no state. And because they go into no state, a lot of people typically what? Just stop. Now, maybe this product wasn't for them, and maybe they'll come back up here. But what I've noticed is a lot of people don't want to invest in their business. Now, when I talk about investment, I'm not talking about a $500 unit. I don't care what it is. It could be a $20 cable for all I care. But every time we do something, we go through this loop, we're just improving what we're doing. I'm telling you right now, go back to my first live stream. If you just want an exercise in mental torture, go back to my first live stream. You'll see how horrible it was. And all the improvements, for those of you who've been with me from the beginning, all the improvements I've made. And I realized that I've been going through this next level thought loop all the time. Every time I'm here, next level, got it here. I don't know what's next, but I'm going to take it to the next level. I'm going to find something. And I wanted to introduce this to you because maybe you may be getting stuck in taking it to the next level is somewhere right here. And it's not so much buying, it's you stop researching. You're afraid to apply a new piece of technology. I talk to a lot of baby boomers who, initial reactions are, Victor, this is too much technology. Virtual selling, it's too difficult. I don't know if I can do this. I'm not good with technology. And they typically, psych themselves out. And so I wanted to share that with you. And you give me your opinion. I want to hear from you. Does this make sense that we observe? Then, once we research something, a lot of us will make a decision to go or no go. That's a go or no go decision, right? But a lot of us get stuck right here. Right? Because it's not a matter of buying, it's a matter of, do I really want to try something new? And we just stay right there. And I think the people that are winning, the people that are growing with this business right now, this market, because we're going, it's not that we started right now. It didn't start at the pandemic back in March. We've been going through a virtual transformation. You've heard the phrase digital transformation for the last, 2, maybe 3 years? You got sales enablement, digital transformation, and every variation of that. We've been moving in a virtual digital direction for quite a while. And I said this during Deej's interview, is that if today you're deciding not to advance, not to get into this loop, this next level loop, you have a shelf life, which means that maybe you're okay right now with your job. Maybe next year you'll be okay, 2 years, but 3 to 5 years, your shelf life is going to be over, so to speak, and you're not going to be as valuable. And I think it's hard to start technology and just try to learn a lot of things. So I think we need to get into this next level loop thinking and just try things. And I'm not saying try expensive things. I can say it could be a book, it could be something simple. Just get into this next level loop. Love to hear your thoughts. Let me go to the comments, man. This is always my favorite part, man. Let me see. So what do you guys got? Oh, you guys, let me see. I want a shirt with your face that, I don't even know. Says, I want a shirt with your face that says, get the picture. Joining you from the beach. Thank you for rubbing it in, Carol. I appreciate that. Jada Beats had something. I missed this one. Hey, have you ever spoken about video sales funnels? I make websites and a fairly new people want this currently. The format drip feeds the message in a video format and qualifies lead. Yeah, I mean, Jed, if you go to my, we started out using Infusionsoft. That was the first package we started using. Then we moved over to ClickFunnels, which is also a great piece of software. And we're currently using, because we combined it with the learning management platform for the Sales Velocity Academy, we use Kajabi right now. So that's our learning management platform. If you haven't looked at kajabi.com, you should check it out. It's a good platform. So anyway, so hopefully that answers your question. Let me see. That's we got cool. A lot of cools, man. A lot of cools. Thank you, Mia. Pete, cool. Holy shnikes. I think it's when I broke out all the cables. I meant, get the idea. Cool. Let me see. Mental torture is a good adjective for your first live stream. Love you, Vic. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you for putting up with me. All about the pivot, man. All about the pivot. I got you, Doug. It's all about the pivot. It really is. Sam Silverstein has a program. I'll probably talk about it next week. It's called Pivot, and it really is. How do you pivot into this new digital reality? So you're dead on, man. Salespeople are the hardest people to convince to buy, guilty of getting stuck in the no-buy loop on occasion. And by no-buy, sometimes we don't even want to try software, like simple software to make our lives easier. It's like we refuse. You know what blows me away? And I still see this today. And this happened, I'm going to say Monday. I had a client, international client, big client, technology, big technology, high tech. And I said, show me your basically your pipeline. And I swear to you, I can't even make this up. They pull up an Excel spreadsheet with multiple sheets. And the guy spent about at least a minute or two just trying to find one line item. And I'm like, why are you using a spreadsheet? You're a high-tech company, but you're using a spreadsheet to manage your pipeline. Again, I think it's little things like that. Love a cup of tea is just lurking, Matt. We're glad to have you back for lurking. Hello from Israel. Love your work. Roy Coupler, thank you very much. Favorite place out there is, I think it was Haifa when I went out there one time. Loved it. The stop makes room, new business. The stop makes room, new businesses. I got to work with you on that one a little more. I write all of your nuggets down, review, and use them, repeat. Thank you very much. Victor, this is the bomb. Thank you, Gregory. We do have to talk, man. It's been a while, man. Groove Funnel is cool. I've never heard of Groove Funnels. That's a software I take, a Groove Funnel. And there's a lot of funnel programs out there. I'll check it out. Let me see. Looking forward to Outbound 2020. Christopher Butler. So am I, man. Like I said, this year we couldn't do it. But Jeb, Anthony, Mark Hunter, those guys are working in the background. They're gonna make it happen, man. Me, I'm just along for the ride because they're the cool guys, man. I'm just kind of like, I'm the roadie with them. So they're good people, man. So I'm looking forward to it. Marcus in Houston, I think that there may be some additional decision points after the assessment. You could break this down to many points after the assessments, right? Yeah, I would agree with you. I'm trying to keep it simple, if you know what I mean, because we've all seen the eye charts where I can break out this whole flow into probably 20 steps if I really tried. And so I was just trying to give you the big ones, but you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Khalid, great, love it, man. Thank you, man. Even before Corona, there might be a few companies who already did virtual sales. Yes, if we avoid it, we can't survive it. I mean, think about it. We keep forgetting. You realize that phone is virtual. I have to remind people, texting is virtual, and we've been doing that for quite a while. But I think what we're really saying is we're no longer getting together face to face. But I think And that's another topic. And I don't want to get off on a tangent because then I'll just go into the whole virtual selling. But I think a lot of it, here's a question I had. Let me just throw this one out there for you guys. I'm tired of hearing salespeople telling me, if it's not face-to-face, it's never going to be the same. But how do we know that? How do we know that? How do we know that face-to-face maybe wasn't the way to go in today's market? And I talked about this with Deej's program, that buyers have been going online to look for information. They're 70, 80% into the buying process, whatever it is. And so they've already gone virtual. They were there already. They were virtual buying, and we're just catching up on the virtual selling piece. And so I think we need to ask ourselves the question, do we really need to be there? Or, let me say it another way, is face-to-face just a mental handicap that a lot of people have in selling? How's that for a question? Is face-to-face selling just a mental handicap that a lot of salespeople have? Because what if you ask yourself a different question? Instead of asking yourself, how am I going to sell, if it's not face-to-face, maybe you should ask this question: how can I sell more effectively via video? And I think you'll find different answers. You'll get into the next level loop because you're asking different questions and you're looking for different answers. And so something to consider. You guys let me know. Something to consider, man. Group Funnel is a million times better and combines so many other platforms into one solution. Janice is like stating that with authority, like not 1,000 times, not 100,000 times, 1,000,000 times. I like Janice. Janice, I think I like you so much, I think I'm going to call you JJ. All right. So how to apply the sales process. On this one, I think it's just learning. It's like, how do we learn? So for example, if you lost a deal, why did I lose that deal? You go through the whole assessment piece, right? Is there something missing in my process that I need? Next level loops, right? So these are ways you can look at it. The learn piece, first of all, there was the observe piece. I observed something, but then there was the learn piece. What can I learn? And maybe I need to acquire a new skill. So let me go acquire that new skill. What does that mean? Now, I don't have to go out and buy a box. I can maybe, shameless promotion, go to the Sales Velocity Academy and buy that. Now you buy that, right? And after you buy that, what then happens? You then begin to what? You assess it. Let me look at the programs, right? You begin to adjust it to your sales style, right? How you want to use it. Then, boom, you launch yourself into the world and you start applying it. And then you assess, again, the results, right? And then you're at next level. That's how I would apply it to selling. Great question, by the way. Great question. But so many people concentrate on the value to them rather than the value to their clients. Of course they do. That's one of the biggest mistakes in selling. One of the things I always ask people, and I've always asked this question, and those who know me and have been on my live streams know the answer to this. But for those of you who know the answer, that you've heard the question before, don't answer. Let everybody else answer. Do you have to love what you sell? That's the question. Do you have to love what you sell? And most of you I know the answer because I've talked about this many times. The answer is no. You don't have to love what you sell, but you should love what it does for your customer. See, that's the key. See, when people say, no, you got to love your product in order to be effective in selling it. No, you don't. You should love what it does for your customer. When you say, I have to love the product, that's narcissistic. That's you-centric. But if you love, like I cannot love this stylus, right? But if my customers love it and what they can do with it is exceptional, and I love what it does for them, that's all I need to worry about. So keep that in mind. So to me, the value is it really helping the customer? That's true selling, right? Value for value, as I always keep just harping on that. Let me see. Judy Lujan, 100% agree, in front of the curve. Hola from Cancun. Oh, you're struggling. You are suffering down there. Thank you for joining us, by the way. Dennis, a.k.a. let me write a manifesto while I'm in this conversation with Victor. Here it is. I'm a sales velocity student. Thank you. About to dig into B to H, business to home. But I just came up with that phrase, by the way, because every time I said business to residential, people thought I was selling to homeowners, to real estate agents. So anyway, I own a siding, window, and patio cover business. Want to build a video platform where the customer walks themselves through the sales process via video. The next video in line would be based on the answer, options, or wants, needs they click on. This looks like part A. So you're looking for a platform that will do that. A lot of platforms that will do that, by the way. It's not surprising when I work in the telecom and many still lack streamlined communication system. I came from the telecom side, same thing, CF, right? The thing is, people are comfortable with what they already know. In the case of telecom, what they already own, the assets they already own. Herb says, when companies don't invest in change/updates, other businesses have the opportunity to take market share. Yes, they do. When businesses stop, it opens up an opportunity for others. Absolutely. I'm with Pete on this one. Absolutely. Brian says, please accept my invite on LinkedIn, and I'll attend via LinkedIn instead of YouTube on Sunday. I will do that, man. Like I said, this is just today. This is like breaking news, right? I should have one of those banners, breaking news. Victor finally gets on LinkedIn. Victor finally gets on LinkedIn. Sometimes for me, I can see new technology that seems like a good idea, but sometimes there's so many options that I just give up. Duncan, welcome to the club, man. Welcome to the club. The thing is, I often have to remind people, because people often see like all the things that go right for me. When I'm setting all this stuff up, what you don't see is the kicking, screaming, and swearing that goes in between not being able to figure something out, like having to go back to Best Buy to pick up some new cables, having to go over to Guitar Center to get another cable. I got to go get this, and then the software doesn't work. Let me reconnect this, and so that's all of us, man. But see, again, that's the part of the adjusting. How do I analyze what I got, and how do I adjust? How do I make it work for me? And then if a piece of software doesn't work, it just simply doesn't work. That's part of the game, though. I've had people who, and I've talked about this before, is that people talk about, I ask them, do you read books? And they go, no. Like, you guys know me, I'm a fanatic, at least one book a week, right? And so I ask people, why don't you read books? And he goes, well, the last one I bought, I didn't finish it. Therefore, I don't want to buy another one, which is like the dumbest logic in the world. Because if you bought a book and you didn't finish it, I can guarantee you that that book was not for you. You thought it was when you first bought it, but it's almost like sunk cost. Well, I spent $20 on this book. I just cannot stop reading it. Yes, you can. All you got to do is give it to Goodwill and go to the next book. But it's interesting how one bad book buy stops a lot of people. And again, it doesn't allow them to get into the next level loop, because they say, well, I bought the last book, therefore, I'm not going to read it. So GrooveFunnel blows ClickFunnels away. Janice, are you back? Janice, are you getting a commission off of this? I like you, JJ. I like you. Janice, I will look it up personally, okay? I promise you I will look it up personally, because you're so vehement about this piece of software. Kohai, totally agree with you. In my case, because of the pandemic, I try to learn new things from the internet before I don't accept internet from online study. However, after learning your academy is opening my mind. Thank you, Kohai, man. I appreciate that, man. And we'll see you in Japan one day, man. I'm telling you, we're going to see you in Japan one day. I think this is the same loop that defines entrepreneurs from entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs take the idea and run with it. I would agree, Sam. I would agree. Like I said, I just wrote this loop down. I mean, I literally just wrote it down, and I would agree with you. I think it's what stops people from going to the next level or trying something. I think, where it says stop or buy, you can almost add another loop in there. Like somebody mentioned, hey, there's another level of assessment. There probably is. But a lot of people actually buy into something and then try it, and because it didn't work, they stop there, right? They didn't see the value, and they just stop. And they just, again, I feel bad for people who don't realize that. We all know that failure is part of the process, but it's amazing how some of us just stop one roadblock. Face-to-face will happen again, but virtual will help you pitch more, save time, money, efforts. It will help us expand our business in other cities. I think so. Look, when you look at the full sales process, I think from the pipeline side, from the inbound side, again, virtual is going to help. Qualifying online meetings, from an SDR or BDR perspective, inside salespeople, that's going to help them qualify. So they're doing that. They were doing that already. But imagine now not having to fly to locations to meet with somebody. I'm telling you, we're not going to go fully back to what we were doing. People are going to integrate virtual as part of their sales process, and that is the reality. So Gator said no to something. I don't know what it is. Kenry, you're back. Positive next loop interface technique can help one enhance sales skills even better. Tremendous theme, Victor. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. Appreciate the feedback. CF, face-to-face is a mental handicap. I know too many who killed it digitally. Phone mail, email, sales page. So I think it is a mental block, right? Because I started asking myself, well, why is face-to-face better than virtual? Why? Because I've noticed that meetings are now shorter and seem to be more efficient, at least for me, when I'm doing them digitally. I'm getting more done having more meetings in one day than I did when I had to, let's say, set up a call and go meet somebody and drive to the location. By the way, I don't know if anybody's thought about this, but the environmental impact has to be great, right? because I'm seeing like, fewer cars on the road, so that the carbon footprint has to be smaller. So there's going to be some upsides here. So it'll be interesting. Selling results, not products or service, every time, man. Brazil's in the house. Anderson, love it, man. Greetings from Playa del Carmen. Love Playa del Carmen. Mexico, Mexico, Mexico. Love it. Dennis, yes. Rod, there he is. Let me say, hey, Victor, one book a week. What's your speed hack? I don't have one. I don't think I have one. I typically, like when I get up in the morning, I'm usually reading for about, I got the 2 golden hours. So I'm starting to expand that. I think I'm getting closer to an hour and 45 minutes in my reading. So I'm getting better at it. If there is a speed hack, sometimes I can look at a paragraph and go, yeah, I know this already. I know what they're going to say. So maybe that's a speed hack. But remember my rule though, and this hasn't happened in a while, but if I go to 100 pages and if it's not a good book, by 100 pages I'm not sold, I give it to Goodwill. But I haven't had one of those in a while. So, but I don't know if that's a speed hack, but Pete's doing groove funnels. All right. Don't let JJ hear that. I'm a book a week person also. Can't get enough. Still waiting on your top 20 for 2020. Maybe someday. I know, man. Sparrow's Tail, you're here, man. Welcome. All right. Dennis is just going to write manifestos today. I like this guy. Now, Dennis, I think I like you, man. I have an issue with building value in my mid-level products against my high-end product when they have the same warranty and both serve the same purpose. I want to sell more best products. I can't downplay the entry-level product while being honest. I've been there, man. I've been there. Tier, hello, VA. Hey, welcome. Ankle, what do you got? In this age, is either you adapt or die. Question may say that great marketing is getting attention for those who don't care. Do you agree? Let me say it again. In this age, it's either you adapt or die. Question, man. They say that great marketing is getting attention of those who don't care. Do you agree? Yeah, I mean, it's always, look, we're always trying to get attention. I mean, the signal to noise ratio, I think, is that much more difficult today. In other words, there's so much noise out there. You think about the amount of content that's being produced. There's so much noise out there. So I was listening to, what's his name? I think it was Brent Adamson. I think this guy was he's with the, and I forgot the group, but he's with the Challenger sale. Was the CBE. CBE was bought out by, you guys are going to tell me who they were bought out by because I forgot already. Anyway, so he did this thing where he said, today customers have so much quality information. Like 5 years ago, quality information marketing was what got you to the next level. But now everybody has all great information. And so buyers are spending, I think it's 15% or 17% of their time just trying to sift to reconcile content and information. And I thought that was very interesting that everybody now has great content, right? Great case studies, great ROI analysis on whatever it may be. And then he said something interesting. He said, the best salespeople today are involved in a process he called it sense making. Sense making. And sense making is basically you help the customer make sense of what they're looking at. And this is a perfect analogy. When there's so many options, customers need somebody to come in, help me make sense of this because I can't do it. That's what customers are looking for today. So you can have great marketing, yeah, but everybody's going to have great marketing, right? Everybody has great video. Everybody has great testimonials. Everybody has, all these are table stakes, right? These are all the basics you have to have. But the question is, when you're face-to-face, V2V, video-to-video with the customer, are you sense-making? I love that phrase. I don't know if he came up with it, but it's a great phrase. Hey, Vic, learning more lessons from you. Thank you, Elkin, man. All right. I sell more patio cover jobs over Facebook Messenger than in person. Need I say more? Just hang out with Dennis. He gets it. Dennis, I don't know if you were here 2-3 live streams ago. I was talking about how like car dealerships are actually selling more cars per salesperson than before the pandemic. It's amazing. The thing is, not only are they changing, by that I mean the actual sellers, the car companies like CarMax, but we're changing. Virtual is becoming more acceptable now. Where before, staying home, you'd be like, is he really sick? Now we're like, yeah, just stay home. If you're sick, just stay home. But I think this whole remote selling, this virtual selling is becoming so acceptable that it's really going to change how we just, again, exist. Aaron Chow, hi, Victor. Thanks for upgrading my mindset since 2019 June from listening to your podcast to Sales Academy. There is progressive growth in sales. Love you. Thank you, Aaron, man. That's cool, man. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I don't know what the joke was, but okay, we're moving on. Okay, Jimmy, what do you got, Jimmy? Jimmy says, hey, Victor, that's great advice regarding book reading. I'm buying another and throwing away my current one that I just don't want to finish. That's what I'm talking about. You just go to next. The thing is, sometimes we buy a book and we get into the book, to be brief about this, it isn't what we expected. But, we were taught, we're programmed. When you're a kid, what does your mother say about food? Eat it all. There are people starving in other countries. You need to finish it. You need to finish it, right? Always finish what you start. That's the program. Always finish what you start. No, if it makes no sense, stop. You don't have to finish it, right? Good mindset, right? It's like the deprogramming of what we've been programmed with. So I'm glad you're doing that, man. What software are you using right now for this streaming? So Christopher, I use Ecamm Live. So just spell it for you. It's Ecamm Live, right? And then I use a Stream Deck. So with Ecamm Live, it actually, by the way, you can go through Zoom. So with Ecamm Live, then I use a Stream Deck. I don't know if you can see it. This allows me to do funky things like move things around like this. Hey, Sales Velocity Academy. Hey, you're back. Check out the Zoom in. Hey, final thoughts. And the counter, I won't do the counter, but I can program a lot of things. And then this other deck, which is like too big to pull up, lets me do stuff like that and come back. But it's all through Ecamm Live. So it's a great software. And then, by the way, the information should be down there, Christopher, in the description. Then I use Restream, Restream.io, that distributes it to LinkedIn, Facebook, and all those others. And now LinkedIn, as I just mentioned. Yeah, I'm super excited about that. So that's what that does. And this is a Vibe, and I think the information is down there also. So cool question. All right. Let me see. This one is, hi, which sales book can you recommend? It's hard when people ask me this question because if it's, look, I'm just going to put there's two books that if I had to say now read them, like assessing what's going on. The Challenger Sale still is one of the best books out there. The Challenger Sale. And then there's the Effortless Experience. The Effortless Experience. And I think it was written by the same guys. The Effortless Experience. The Effortless Experience is all about what customers want today. And the big takeaway from that book is customers don't want to be wowed. People say you got to wow your customers. No, you can't wow your customers. It's not duplicatable. So the Effortless Experience and the Challenger Sales. Read those two books and then come back and then let's have a discussion, Ravello. And I think you're going. That's a great investment, man. I would definitely get those two books. Did you start reading books before starting your business? I did after starting my business. Biggest mistake of my life. I think I started reading books after I graduated from college. True story, man. For some reason, when I got out of college, I started reading what I wanted to read. There's a longer story behind that, but yeah, I'll give you the short version of the long story. What I realized when I got into corporate America, that executives, managers, directors, VPs, CEOs, they read books. And so what I would do is when I would go to my manager's office, I would always scan the desk to see what they were reading or the shelf. And if there was something in the shelf, I'd ask about the book, and then I would read the book. And then the next time I got together with my manager, I said, hey, I read that book you recommended, and that began a conversation. And I realized that when you start reading what other people read, there's so many connections you can make in terms of building rapport with people. It's fascinating. So that got me hooked on reading years ago. So it was before I started my own business. I was working in corporate America then. All right, Aaron, hope to see you in Singapore. Do allow me to be your tour guide and eat the best local food here. Done, man. I love it. Yeah. Like I said, it's been a while since I've been there. And it's a beautiful city. Sorry, internet got cut. Speaking of technology, welcome to the Philippines. We'll just check this out on the replay. All right, man. Just check it out on the replay. All right, a couple more that I'm out of here. Yep, you have to adapt with times. Just look at the big companies that failed because they didn't adapt. Polaroid, Kodak, Sears. Hey, did you see this? True story. I'm not making this up. You can look it up. You can Google it. So the last Blockbuster. Let me see who can get the answer here. What happened to the last Blockbuster? Who knows the answer to this one? I'll be so impressed if you get this one. And don't look it up. Don't Google it. Don't Google it. That's cheating. Do you know off the top of your head what happened? I'm going to go to the bottom real quick. Do you know what happened to the last one? The last one was turned into a Airbnb. The last one is turned into Airbnb, and basically they keep all, they have all the video collections, like you remember going back to go videos. So it's actually a video store converted into an actually an Airbnb. How's that for cool, man? That's creativity right there. Victor, what do you think of short and sweet ads? I am trying to make good vids for products. Instagram, I find long-winded videos. Yeah, I got a short attention span. I don't know Sparrow's Tail. I'd just be making things up if I told you. When I do ads, I just never know what works. I got to be honest. I've tried to do split testing on some of my videos, and I can't tell sometimes. Sometimes I think I have a winning video and nothing. And then, like I told the story before, my most popular video was an actual 15-minute rant, which has like 1.7 million views. And I didn't even want to put that video up. I just said, I got nothing else to put up. I'll just put that up. And that was successful. So always a tough one, man. Always a tough one. You're very welcome, Christopher. Antonio, what CRM do you use? Pipedrive. I use these guys. Watch this for a commercial.
Pipedrive is the first CRM platform made for salespeople by salespeople. There are 4 things that Pipedrive does extremely well to help your business grow. 1. Manage leads and deals by getting your leads fed straight into your sales pipelines around the clock from your custom chatbot and web forms. 2. Track calls, emails, contact history in order to have full customer visibility and control of your schedule. Eliminate busy work by also automating repetitive administrative tasks that learns from artificial intelligence. Insights and reports are also available so you can do a deep dive into metrics customized for your business and measure company performance against set goals. So go to pipedrive.live/Victor Antonio, sign up and get an extended trial of 30 days free plus 25% off the first 3 months by simply using the promo code Victor Antonio. Again, the link is pipedrive.live/Victor Antonio.
That'll teach you to ask me that question, Angel Garcia. Never ask me that question again because I'll give you that commercial every time. Anyway, so thanks for asking that. Hey, by the way, Christopher got it. Airbnb. All right, Christopher. I believe you, man. Christopher, I believe you, man. Inkle says, man, thank you so much, man. I love that sense making. What are other ways to make your clients comfortable aside from the chair they're sitting in? You said if this goes numb, they go dumb. Yeah, if this goes, you've been watching my stuff. I mean, it's a longer conversation about rapport building, but again, I always try to find ways to connect with clients, man. And again, but I don't try to be their friends at the beginning, if that makes any sense. I'm friendly, but I don't try to be their friends because I know they don't have a lot of time and they're looking at me like, what do you want? And so I try to really empathize. And I always talk, empathize with your customer, educate them on what they don't know, and then empower them to make that buying decision, as we've talked about. That'll be another episode. There it is, the Challenger sale and then the Effortless Experience. I'm telling you, read these 2 books. I would make all my salespeople read that if it was up to me. Brian got Airbnb. Christopher chimed in first, man. It's closing. The book that absolutely helped me and absolutely kills me is The Blue Ocean Strategy. I want so bad to implement it for home windows. By the way, so Dennis, I use a variation of the Blue Ocean strategy. By the way, if you're wondering what we're talking about, Blue Ocean is new territory. Red Ocean is like too much competition. It gets bloodied in the water, right? So you're always looking for blue oceans. By the way, in my book, Sales Ex Machina, How Artificial Intelligence is Changing the World of Selling, I modified it to blue puddles because I don't think there are blue oceans anymore. The AI is able to find blue puddles, which are little market niches that we typically as humans wouldn't be able to see. So you can use it. I think I have a video, if not a podcast on this, Dennis. So just Google Victor Antonio Blue Ocean and you might find it, man. So I think you might find it interesting. Might add to it. Let me see. Brian said, thanks. Everybody's thanking Brian. Way to go, man. All right, then we got a couple more, and I'm out of here. My random Splash Dash Insta stories have brought in more customers than my scripted YouTube videos. See what I mean? Who knows? Who is your mentor if you have one? I do not have one right now. But I think this is going to sound so corny to you, but the world is my mentor. Because there's so many great people out there. Like, even I'm in the world of selling, there's so many great sales trainers out there. So many people writing great books on selling. And again, I don't want to mention anyone because somebody will get mad that I didn't mention them. And so I just really follow, like I have favorite websites that I follow. So I think I used the phrase virtual mentors years ago before people started using virtual mentors. And Zig Ziglar was my original virtual mentor like 25 years ago. And so I just look at people, that whole thing about observe, the next level loop is I observe somebody who's doing something that I want to do. And I say, how are they doing that? And then I just study them and figure out what they're doing. So that's where I would start. If I couldn't afford a mentor, let's say as far as paying for a coach, I would actually just stalk somebody, just stalk them. By that I mean, look at what they do, how they do it, and then come up with your style and your way of doing it. So great question, man. Camillus, thank you for joining me. Dennis, thank you very much. Check it out. Love the connection, man. So anyway, on that note, so here's some final thoughts. I give you some final thoughts always. So on this whole next level thought loop, I want you to do the next time you see something, you observe something, you learn something, you start researching something. I want you to almost like just analyze yourself as you go through this process and ask yourself, am I stopping and not implementing something because I'm scared or for whatever reason? But if you do decide to implement it, really track your process. Find yourself, analyzing it and then adjusting it to what you need and then applying it. And then when you come out the other side, when you actually start using the tools, you just feel different about yourself. And it's those little intrinsic motivational bumps. I'll call them that, intrinsic motivational bumps, that when you do something, you try something for the first time. Like me, I'm playing with this box, love the box. And now it's like I'm more motivated to kind of just find another piece of gadget to see how I can make this even better. And it's those little motivational bumps because we took a small chance, a little risk in doing something that other people wouldn't. So, assess yourself, as you're going through this process. And I'm telling you, every time you do something, you just learn a little bit. Just get 1 degree, 1% better. If you think of compound selling, right? 1% better all the time. At the end of the year, you'll be 37x better, right? 1% every day gets you to 37x better at the end of the year. And imagine if you're doing these loops all the time, next level thinking loops. And at the end of the year, you're just going to be a totally different person. And on that note, I want to thank you guys for your time. You guys are awesome. Again, check out the Sales Velocity Academy if you haven't. And on that note, this is Victor Antonio for Sales After Dark, reminding you, selling ain't hard when you know how. Take care, guys. See ya.